Hello there, Trent. Mogwai here, still in desperate need of a haircut. Coming at you with another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. We got a vault to open, I just realized, but I guess I'll leave that for today's stream, as today we're going to be talking about the deck that got me the final push towards Masters rank. Yes, ya boy is Masters. If you can see here, we are actually in Masters rank. I did achieve this yesterday off stream. I decided to attempt to reach the rank on, on my free time, I guess. Mondays I do tend to take off from recording and streaming and everything, but I'm so addicted to this game that I just kept playing the entire day, and it took me about 5 hours. So I know I told you all that my plan was to reach Masters rank with Heimerdinger control, and you may be thinking, well, Miguel, what happened? Did you give up on the archetype? And no, by no means. This is still my favorite deck, and I actually feel very confident with this deck. We were able to reach high diamond rank, like we were at diamond 2, almost diamond 1 with this deck, and we were floating in diamond 2 for a while. Like, we weren't dropping or anything. The problem that I was realizing was throughout the weekend as I tried to reach Masters with this is that unfortunately Heimerdinger control games take a while. They're long, and it's not only an issue of time, as games take longer, therefore it's going to take me much longer to reach a certain rank, especially at this high end of the ladder. It's also a matter of fatigue. Heimerdinger control is a very mentally taxing deck. Like, you have to there's so much decision making, and there's so many things to consider that I'm not the guy with the most endurance, right? My brain doesn't have that much gas, unfortunately. And I found out that as these days that I spent like so much trying to, reach Masters of this deck, and I would play this deck for 11 hours consecutively, I would start, malfunctioning. Let's leave it at that, right? So I was like, you know what? I made it up this far with Heimerdinger. I'm very happy with it. But now I need another deck that's efficient and faster, like much faster. And I came across Spooky Ghost right here, which is the deck we're going to be talking about today, which is nice. We're going to feature a different deck. I'm going to preface this video by saying this deck has become much more popular than I initially expected it to be. Therefore, it is kind of the face of the high-end in ranked metagame right now. So, because of this, this is the only time you're going to be seeing me playing this specific deck, as I am going to be venturing into other decks from tomorrow onwards. Now that I, did reach Masters with it, I'm not going to dwell too much on a deck that you guys are probably going to be seeing everywhere. In this channel, I want to make it interesting, and I want to the way I enjoy playing card games in general is beating the metagame, fighting the metagame with underrated cards, underrated champions, strategies, all that stuff. So that's what you're going to be seeing here. You're not going to be seeing top tier meta decks. You're going to be seeing me compete at the highest ranks with different decks, and that's something that I'm going to stay true to, and something that I'm going to be focusing on with this content, in case you're interested and that sort of stuff. But I did feel like I should share the deck that I used to make the final push, and a deck that has become a force to be reckoned with in the current ranked metagame. It is a Spooky Ghost, as I like to call it, a Mist Wraith Shadow Isles deck. As you guys can see, this is very heavy on Shadow Isles with a bit of a splash of Ionia for specifically Deny and Shadow Assassin. I gotta give a big shout outs to Alex at Navi something. He's from Navi. He's basically a pro Hearthstone player that has transitioned to Runeterra and has been doing really good in Runeterra as well, as he designed this deck. I don't have all the cards. Like, I only have one Frenzy Skitter and I only have 2 Elises. So I had to take that and just kind of like tweak the deck list and modify it, for like the cards that I had, and also since also for my playstyle a little bit, as I am incorporating Hapless Aristocrat for aggro matchups. I'm a big believer in Mark of the Owl, so I run a triple set of this. I think this card is just absolutely bonkers, and I am running 3 Denies and 2 Shadow Assassins instead of 3 Shadow Assassins and 2 Denies, because I am a Deny degenerate, and I just really like Deny. So the idea behind this deck is actually pretty straightforward. We are attempting at least to abuse the fearsome mechanic. We have a very strong early game. This is a mid-range deck, really. It's not really an aggro deck. It's not at the speed tier of other aggro decks, but it can smork control decks, and it can outvalue aggro decks. That's why it's in that middle ground, and therefore mid-range. We have the Mistwraith, which when it's summoned grants other allied Mistwraiths everywhere +1 attack. We have the Wraithcaller, which has the allegiance tag, which says when you summon this, it gets its allegiance bonus if the top card of your deck matches its region, which is why we have such a heavy amount of Shadow Owls card and only a minor splash of Ionia in this deck. So we can, the vast majority of the time, trigger allegiance as Wraithcaller enters the board, and they will summon a Mistwraith. Every time a Mistwraith is summoned, they get +1 attack, and this stacks up, and eventually you end up with 4/2 fearsome 2-drop Mistwraiths. Just absolutely overwhelming the opponent. The fearsome tag is much more, it's not as clean as elusive, but our stats really make up for it, and the amount of pressure this deck can apply by turn 4 is absolutely ridiculous, especially if you do find your Mistwraiths early on. On top of that, we have Elise and a bit of a spider package going on. Even though we're not full on into the spider archetype with this deck, we are playing Aristocrat, Arachnoid Horror, which is another key fearsome unit, and also Frenzied Skitterer as our spider cards with Vile Feast to generate spiderlings as well. And this enables us to really threaten the opponent with leveling up Elise, which can apply to a lot of pressure, even more so than what the fearsome package already brings to the table, right? We have Hecarim as our late game bomb. Hecarim and 2 Rasa the Sunder alongside 1 Commander Ladros. This is the one card that I really despise in this game. I think this card should be nerfed because I don't think it's healthy for the for the game, but we're going to have to live with it now, and we are playing it as a one-off to put an end to slower decks, as we also have a one-off of Vengeance for some key scenarios in which we need to kill a very beefy unit that is going to attempt to steal the game from us, right? We also are playing 3 copies of Withering Whale. This is a meta call by Navi. It is basically there to counter the aggro spiders deck, and it has been a really good card, even outside of the aggro matchups. It's just a very good value 5-mana reactive AoE tool, and the health gain goes a long way on top of that. And that is basically the deck list right there. Like I said, a very powerful deck. You can expect this to be very prevalent in the ladder from now onward, so I am going to be devising decks to attempt to beat this. And that's, honestly, that gets me really excited. Like, I'm excited to just try out all sorts of different ideas to try to capitalize on the prevalence of this deck in ranked, and see if we can get some cheeky wins with some underrated champions on top of that. So that's going to be what you can expect. But today I got some high ranked master gameplay against some master ranked players, so I think you guys are going to enjoy that. And I think I got some good games recorded for you, so hopefully you enjoy the games. Have a solid day. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for daily Legends of Runeterra content. Love ya. Thank you for supporting my channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, here we go. Against Chicho, or Chicho. I call it Chicho. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to pronounce his name. Chicho is a big fan of aggro spiders and has been in Masters rank for longer than us. Definitely a very, very powerful opponent. I like Elise here. Marco the Owls is interesting. I don't know about Glimpse Beyond. I'm in this matchup, I just really want to search for removal. Like, Marco the Owls can be key at some exchanges, and Glimpse Beyond can be neat as well, but I want the Vile Feasts and the Black Spears and my Withering Whales as well. Withering Whale is like the most key card in this matchup. We could definitely expect him to have a 1-drop, right? Which is why Vile Feast is really important, but you don't ever really want to mulligan away Wraithcaller. It's one of the most key cards in this deck. It provides so much value and applies so much pressure, especially when we're going second on attack.
There's nothing to fear.
We're gonna play Elise. We could not get an attack off with her. It depends. Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna offer the trade here. Yeah. Because we can't block that fearsome spider back, right? So even though it sucks to lose Elise, we're facing an aggro deck, and we need to keep that in mind. Alright, this time around, I definitely do want to kill Elise with a surprise, so I'm going to drop my own Elise. I don't bite. We're going to go with Marco the Isles onto our spider here. We're going to block this spider. With Marco the Isles, because of the burst speed, we'll be able to overcome fearsome. This spider will become thicker, braver. And we'll be able to take down the Spider Queen And monkey see monkey too, I guess. Alright. I'm actually happy with this. Considering he's the aggro player, he needs to overwhelm me early on. The longer this match goes, the more it'll be in my favor. Especially when I have a turn 4 play, such as this one. And obviously, because of the structure of our deck, the odds of us pulling this are extremely high. Because of Fearsome, he won't be able to block with either unless he finds a Mark of the Owls. But that means he's going to be sacrificing, again, 2 cards for 1. And that is something we're completely okay with. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I am fine with that, buddy. That could translate into a lot of damage. I am A-okay with that exchange right there. And I'm really happy with that draw, too. Alright, as long as we don't get tremendously unlucky, there's basically 3 Ionia cards and 31 cards in my deck. So, like I said, the odds are in our favor. And that's really crucial because we get the 3 attack on both of these mist rates right here, which enables us to block at least with ease. This one's gonna go here. This is gonna go here. This is gonna go here. I don't care if he goes for a battle bond. We're basically weakening his board, and we're gonna drop big boy Hecarim on him next turn. We have Glimpse Beyond enabled, so if he does go for a third Mark of the Owls, then I will definitely be using it to draw more. Even though floating mana is nice, I still won't be able to enable Hecarim plus deny here. All right, may as well draw off of that. So we only take 1 damage, and next turn, ladies and gentlemen, it is Hecarim time. Though we could be facing a Darius, but we're going in.
I'll handle this myself.
Alright, so here's the thing about Darius. He's going to want to block into this. But the basic idea is I have Withering Wail next turn. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, which means I can't do this and Black Spear. So even though this is threatening, and I will lose my Hecarim attacking here, trading with Darius is very key, so we're gonna go with it.
Step away, coward.
And he's already played 2. He's played 2 Mark of the Owls, right? Yeah. So I'm not even sure he plays a 3rd one. And this Withering Wail will finish off this Darius with that trade. And we have Vile Feast to back that up too. So I really don't expect a 3rd Mark of the Isles. Like, I'm pretty sure not even Aggro plays it. They alternate, like they have Battle Bond. They have like a lot of burst effects, right? I don't think you go triple Mark of the Isles. Maybe I'm wrong. Regardless, we're going in. Booyah! That is clean. That totally justifies my attack. I'm not gonna play this horror. Even though I tried lethal, I want to see what he plays first and go for a potential Black Spear there. But that was a pretty clean win against one of the highest ranked Master players. Feels good. I guess, you know, this number ain't that great, but to be fair, you know, we got to Masters like yesterday, so not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, salty rum back, I guess. Round 2. Hapless Aristocrat is decent in this matchup, even though Fearsome is a thing. Frenzy Skitter I also like. I'm gonna drop 1. I mean, these are so good though. These are so damn good. Like back to back, these are just insane. It's hard to say no to. Like, I love Wraith. Wraithcaller is like such a power play, man. I'm actually gonna keep this in. Considering I'm drawing more cards off of it. Hapless Aristocrat is just a must keep because even though Fearsome is a thing, he also likes to play the 3-2, right? The 1 mana 3-2, which we can definitely block with the Hapless Aristocrat. So it's just definitely a worth hand to keep here.
Come closer. I don't bite.
This is problematic though. Us not having a 2-drop is gonna hurt us. So maybe considering the matchup, I should have maybe I should have mulliganed here. It's important for us to keep these shun blockers though, but maybe that was a mistake. I mean, I'm gonna play the Mist Wraith.
They grow up so fast.
I figured that attack would be free.
My little dear.
Not gonna lie, this is threatening.
Let me change into something more comfortable.
This could go completely wrong. Like I think.
I salute you.
All right. These Myth Rays help me block much better, even though Challenger's a thing. And we're gonna take a huge hit. He's thinking about challenging the spider. I believe I do have to chump block here, just to prevent a little bit of damage. We're going low. At least we kill all these spiders. But us not having, yeah, this certainly hurts. But I think any ounce of damage here is very vital. Even though I could attempt to, no, like I just don't see myself evolving Elise here. So I'm gonna use this as a chump blocker. This is pretty ideal for him. And I think this could be attributed. This could definitely be attributed to my mulligan decisions. Like I think this is a learning experience. Like the second game, I love Wraith Color, and okay, that's a good draw. But how do I navigate around this? Is it possible? Like I'm really low on health. I'm super low. But I need to play you. That's big. In the health gain we trust. From Withering Whale. GG.
I have my orders.
GG. There's always something to learn from each game. Like the big difference between those two games is the first one we focused more on reactive resources, right? And we were able to trade more efficiently with them and just control, keep his board humble, right? This time around, we got a little bit greedy with our wraiths. We tried to basically outpace him and outmuscle him, but that's easier said than done when we have no early plays to interact with his Elise. And that was the big difference in those two games, and I think that's definitely a learning experience when it comes to the mulligan for us in that matchup. So keep that into account. Like, just if you're facing aggro spiders, don't do like I did. Search for your early game stuff, your Withering Whales, your removal, whatever it is you're playing. Make sure you can deal with their board early on, because then they will be much less scary, especially because of the crowd favorite. That's a card that really relies on you to have the bell board stay. So if you can shut that down, he's not as favored, I guess. But yeah, it's just Mogwai versus Chicho, the movie today. At least he's playing a different deck, which is neat. I get to showcase a different matchup. Fiora versus Zed. Fiora and Zed, sorry, English. Mark of the Owls feels really important. Deny also feels really important in this matchup. Basically to deny their deny, especially because they can set up a powerful... but I think I'm going to drop it still. I think it's too early. I'm going to keep one Mark of the Owls. This card really puts in the work, but we want a bit of an earlier game going on. This hand is a little bit awkward. Rasa is not really what we want to have here, but I guess Mist Wraith is this hand saving grace. Hopefully my draws can be a bit better. I think I want to develop the Arachnoid Horror first because it represents more damage, and that extra damage can go a long way. I also like the fact that I have these Mark of the Shadow Owls with early game creatures, as I can trade into a potential Zed.
I am the blade in the darkness.
That's a big hit.
They follow the wrong master.
So my opponent went with a big, heavy play there, but we were able to. It cost us 2 Mark of the Shadow Owls though. Like that's an expensive price to pay. Regardless, we're gonna start trying to. We're gonna attempt to overwhelm him with Mist Wraiths.
Step lightly.
Kinku Lifeblade is definitely a threat, but it is a bit toned down for now. Rasa can really come into play in a couple of turns here.
These are dangerous lands.
Lady Elise, where are you?
The advantage is mine.
I'm gonna attempt to fish for something here. Maybe a black spear. Hecarim is nice. Double Kinku Lifeblade definitely makes things tough for us. We're gonna play Hecarim. Meet to battle. We're gonna try to, like I said, overwhelm him. We're not vulnerable to judgment, which could be a thing here.
I long for a worthy opponent.
We're going for a big attack here. Next turn, we have a total of 7, 10. We have 10 mana, which means we have 2 Withering Wails enables, which means we can survive some crazy burst, which my opponent could definitely be very much capable of here.
Is this supposed to be a challenge?
I assume he has some sort of protection for Fiora. Shield. Or not. I'll take the kill. Okay. Alright. He's low. So that means he must have, like... He must be trying to, like, get a sneak kill off on us. But that's where this Withering Wail will come into play. That's where this Withering Wail can really save the day. Just because of the health gain. Because right now my opponent's looking at 6 damage. He's definitely aiming to kill us here.
I go unseen.
We're going in double. Just going in double. Oh yeah. Yep. Clearing 2 of his units there. He gains quite a bit. But we're going in now. We're going in now, sirs. Ooh, that's tempting. That's so tempting. But I can't. I have to play around a judgment. I have to play around a judgment with Vengeance here. Try to not give him a chance. Obviously, buffs could happen. We could also Rasa potentially.
Eyes open.
Even if he gets +3/+3, like yeah, I think he's trying to.
I sense fear.
Gives that shield. That's pretty expensive though. All right. He's really trying to hold on to them. But we're gonna Rasa here. He can't deny this. That's the power, that's the big power of this play. Our Hecarim into Rasa is incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful. It's just really big boy plays back to back. If I play Mist Wraith, Wraithcaller, I don't have access to Vengeance. So I'm gonna play Elise. Elise is the middle ground play here. Like it enables me to like not pass on him.
Sabon with blades in hand.
We just try to go for the Vengeance here. Okay, so if I Vengeance and he denies, he attacks, I can jump block one of them, I take the hit from the other one. Then I have 3 attackers next turn, all with Fearsome, which means this initially can't block, even though he can potentially navigate around that. I can still try to aim to go for the kill. I'm gonna attempt to Vengeance here. I think this is the correct play. Got him. Got him! 2-1, baby! 2-1! Yeah, I think Vengeance was correct there because he could also potentially like lifesteal with it. Me going Vengeance, like that's one of the things about this deck. It only takes me to like because of stuff like Hecarim and Mist. Wraithcaller, English. I can generate a lot of pressure by just playing one creature, right? So a lot of times, even though other decks try to go more immediately for attacks at the beginning of a round and try to go for like burst speed buffs, we are fine playing into the round and even giving our opponent turns to develop blockers because every creature that we play has the ability to generate one or more attackers aside of himself, which is, you know, really threatening. So I think going for the Vengeance there and then just setting up a Hecarim next turn. Potentially a Hecarim plus, how much mana did I have? A Hecarim plus Wraithcaller could have been just absolutely, even though I don't think I had the space for that. But basically, I think, considering how low he was, even with combat tricks, with lifesteal, he needed a lot of more stats to be able to handle that sort of pressure. So, yeah, Vengeance was definitely the right play there. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, we got a different opponent. We're not facing Shisho anymore. We move on to Zed-a-Lot. In what looks to be somewhat of a mirror match here. He's playing Zed. We're gonna be only getting 2 Hecarims, without a doubt. We don't want this in our opening hand, since we do have run 3 copies of it. We're bound to draw it by turn 6 most of the time, at least a decent amount of the time. It's hard to say no to Aristocrat, even though yeah, it's decent. Vile Feast, how good is Vile Feast? Not sure it's that great, to be honest. Not in this particular matchup. I'd rather have other resources. 2 drops, raids, you know, search for all that good stuff.
What's that noise? I must get out of here.
Please have connections! Alright, let's go with that. That's a good draw. Will we see a Butcher? No Butcher. We don't trade into the Curse Keeper for obvious reasons. We don't want to enable his last breath. We float 2 mana, which is nice for upcoming deny plays. We have no significant play here, though. It's a bit underwhelming. Not gonna lie.
Silent as death.
I believe I'm gonna do this. The cycle through my deck. That's more like it. Could have done that earlier, but you know, hindsight is 2020, and we didn't know what our opponent was gonna play. So now we're just gonna start dropping the rates, and we're gonna try to overwhelm him.
No place for the kind anymore.
That's a big turn for them, obviously. I think in order to develop solid blockers, we go Wraithcaller. Alright. There's always a chance that we won't trigger the Allegiance, but it's a very minor chance. We get these 2 blocks here. I'm definitely gonna play this myth, because right now we don't really have to worry about like a Hecarim. All right. My question is, do I dive into this attack like this, or do I do something about this board? Because I have several options. I can. Unfortunately, I don't really like. I mean, I could go this into. Yeah, this represents quite a big swing for us. I think this is justified. This is tricky now. This deck is just like very high value. I'm not sure that was the right play because I kind of wasted a card. And he's getting really good value out of these 2 drops right now. He does have he's got an advantage right now for sure. And right now he could drop a Hecarim on us, and we don't really have many tools. Because we've drawn a little bit too reactively. This kind of play is fine, though. Because we can just aim to use a Withering Whale. Stop that there. This will mitigate damage, and it sets up for a second Withering Whale here. We could see a deny, though. Alright, we do see a deny. Okay. Alright, so our hands are of equal size right now, but obviously his board state and our health is looking worse. So right now we are behind. We got to make a comeback here. I don't really like my hand, honestly. I lost the ability to apply early pressure, and I'm not really drawing good stuff here. I'm gonna pass. My opponent doesn't have any reason to like commit more to this board state. But I also don't want to, like, I would like to get more value out of the Withering Whale. Because if I want to win this game, I feel like I need to get more value out of this. But it's honestly, it's looking rough.
Please, I have connections.
It's looking rough. Let's do this and this. We get to mitigate some damage here. And we stay pretty healthy, but as you guys can see, I'm wasting several resources to deal with this board state. And my opponent has a pretty healthy looking hand right there. We could see another deny, and this time we will be combating this deny with our deny. He could always have 3 denies at the top, 27 cards, like 13 cards of his deck, but I doubt it. So, you know, we're still pretty healthy, but unfortunately, as you guys can see, like, we've completely ran out of steam. Rasa could come down here and just finish off our spiders. And it's honestly not a bad play. The box. Alright, that's not something I was expecting. I'm still not sure how I feel about the box. I feel like it's very situational. But we've definitely, we're definitely outvalued here. Like, people say, you know, Wraiths are very strong, and it's like the deck to beat. But I think just good old value Shadow Owls is really legit as well. I just don't see myself winning this game, to be honest. Like, my opponent has a significant card advantage, and I'm very low on resources. It's important to acknowledge, like, when the game is over. And he's gonna be able to start getting some good value here. I guess we won't give up quite yet. Normally, I would not want to do this. I would want to wait for him to attack or to go for like something on this before I go for it. But if I want to win this game, if I want to have any chance of winning this game, I need to start dealing damage. Though this just welcomes in Rasa. Like, this is oh no, never mind. He doesn't have mana for Rasa. I need to start getting some damage on him if I want to have a chance. This game is very close to over, but under like some sort of miracle, we could potentially make a comeback here. If my opponent's hand is like very low impact and we start drawing some of our big threats. So I'm not going to give up just yet. Like, it's not over until it's over, but it's looking pretty over. Yeah, especially with these top decks, this is not what we want to see. We'll take the hit. We'll drop Elise.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
We do have a Vengeance. Like, we have a high impact removal card, and our opponent isn't really doing anything right now, so... Alright, I like Shadow Assassin. But I feel like I just kind of like want to get some, just want to get an attack here, honestly. Like a clean attack before I play Shadow Assassin and he drops like a huge blocker. So we're gonna go with Elise here.
Cannot escape.
All right. Ross is coming. I feel Ross is coming. If he's going with that block,
You dare.
Ross is definitely coming. Oh, okay, I'm not. That's fine.
The dark beckons.
I'm gonna go for the vengeance immediately. We don't know if he plays triple deny. He's already played 2 denies. Glimpse beyond, I would expect, or that. That's pretty good. We do have our own Hecarim though, and the Rasa. Okay, Rasa's interesting. We kill off the Undying, but I think it's worth it just to kill off Hecarim. The problem is if he has a Vile Feast. If he has a Vile Feast, this plan just goes to shit. But we gotta.
These are dangerous
Alright.
lands.
Plan is over. Is it? I mean, we still kill this. We kill a blocker there, and we can drop Hecarim next turn, and we can try to make a swing. Okay, this is very key. Right now, I'm looking to take quite a bit of damage. I can use this to jump block 1. That's 4 damage in. 4 damage coming in. What if I just play Rasa naked? I think naked Rasa is the correct play. I think this is the correct play. It deters him from attacking with Hecarim. It really deters him. I think this is actually... It feels bad. Like, it's counterintuitive to play a Rasa without enabling it. And if he does attack, we just get to kill Rasa. Hecarim. And take no damage from it. Chump block you here. We're still looking at quite a bit of damage here. I don't want to... Okay, 3, 5, 7. We're going down to 4 health. We're going down to 4 health, but I need that extra blocker. We don't die to a Mark of the Owls. We live by 1, which is not great, but it's not worth me dropping a blocker here. He has a Mark of the Owls. Alright, that's good to know. That's one of his cards. I mean, Mark of the Owls on to Undying is pretty reasonable. But, like I said, I don't die to the card. Otherwise, I would play around it, right? Alright. Yeah, that makes more sense. He still gets 2 damage in, which means it puts us at 2. Can we come back from this? I mean, right now, our Shadow Assassin is the only way we're not losing to this. Oh, that's a big feels bad. The Undying is coming towards us, and we don't really have the means to deal with it. Oh boy.
We weren't expecting callers. She'll be right out.
It's too late for you.
Does he have a Mark of the Isles? If he has a Mark of the Isles, I have to live with it. I can't win if I just generate that. Yeah. It is what it is. Maybe I could have played around it, but I think it's just a losing game if I favor that trade in. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I should just trade it into that. Even though like he ends up with an I have like no board left, and he ends up with an Undying and the 4/4 that my Black Spear won't kill. So I need some crazy top decks to stay in that game. But I mean I could run it. I could draw into a Wraith Caller. Yeah. So honestly, in hindsight, maybe just blocking was better. Yeah, I think maybe I had potential to come back that game if I It's so hard though. I was so low on health. Like it really, anything could just kill me at that point. But it's possible. So I guess in hindsight, I definitely should have blocked. We could have won that. All right, day 2. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really excited to move on from this deck. I enjoy playing it, but I don't enjoy the countless mirror matches that we're facing. Even though there's slight variations, it's the same shell. And I'm just ready to move on. I'm gonna keep this hand. Even the Glimpse Beyond seems decent, honestly. More card draw, good value, good 2 drops as well. We're missing some rates. That denies a good draw too. But we have a nice Elise on turn 2. That unless he has a spider here, he won't be able to block.
In the shadow. I pull the strings. You won't suffer long. Come, stay a while. So young.
Yeah, like I'm just ready to move on to trying to find ways to beat this deck rather than just playing countless mirrors, because that's one of the things that I want to talk about in the video. Okay, that's a mistake. That's a misplay. That's a misplay. I don't want to come off like you know, arrogant, but that's a diamond level play, son. You attack first. You don't drop that. What are you doing? I have a blocker for your Elise now.
I will play my part. What's your hurry?
I have a blocker for your Elise, which is a big deal. I could drop this, but there's no point. I'd rather float my mana, especially considering I have a deny. And while attacking with Elise is promising, I'd rather go for the big boy play. We could always have an Ionia card on top. We have only 1 Ionia card, which means we have a total of 5. There's 4 cards left in our deck that are Ionia, but I believe in the heart of the cards, and I believe in, you know, statistics, and I think we're fine. My heart always skips for a second whenever I play a Wraith Caller. Because, you know, sometimes you get screwed, man.
So many years, so much misery.
Interesting. We missed out on damage by doing that. But it was worth the attempt, I believe. Having this deny backup is really key. Could go a long way. We need to keep applying pressure, but Fearsome is definitely gonna help us go places. Opponent has a pretty sizable hand here. Regardless, we're going to be playing the Horror.
Now you've gone and upset it.
I'd love to see some more miss rates, right? Or Wraith colors. At this point, I can drop this.
The egg. Did it move?
Quite the dish, aren't you?
I'm gonna go for the Elise level up.
A tribute to the spider god. All for the best, my pet.
Beautiful. With deny backup as well, that's fantastic. Yeah, I like that line of play. Now everything has Fearsome. I could drop this Mythwraith, but honestly, like, I'd rather just get a clean hit off on him. I have a deny. I have a deny. Like, what is he gonna do here exactly? That's annoying, but that's also something we can mitigate. Let's do this. Bring you first. Let's also, I assume just trade into that is fine. The way, because we challenge this first, if he tries to go for his cheeky play here, yeah, he has no mana to deny this, so we deny that. And because this is gonna connect first, he's gonna heal 5, but he's at 18, right? So all this sweet damage is gonna go in, and we're gonna put him quite low and still flow 3 mana. which enables us to do all sorts of things. Next turn is Rasa turn, which can mean very big things. This Elise is applying a lot of pressure. Another deny back up there. Really key as we're aiming to go for the kill. And I mean, like I said, this is not a mirror match. Even though the champion lineup is really similar. He's playing, you know, ephemeral synergy and stuff. Like Shadow Owls is very diverse, right? But I'm just kind of like, I'm not in the mood to showcase, you know, these sorts of matchups every time. That's fine. He could have a deny. To deny my deny. And if that's the case, then I will glimpse beyond here. That's a great way to stop that. We're gonna play Shadow Assassin. Silent as death.
I will play my part.
We're gonna skip the block. And right now we are representing lethal. Not anymore.
Don't bite.
Not anymore, we're not. 6-8 damage. I could go for that. Or I mean, this changes things. Right now we threaten lethal, so he has to block, which means we don't have to go for this immediately.
Come. Stay a while.
Gotcha. Clean. But it's exact lethal, you know, the 0. That's my favorite kind of lethal. Alright, we had a good live today. We got some good games, you know, some tough opponents. We played Chicho 3 times. And, you know, I think I showcased this deck at its best and at its worst as well. Got some good stuff. Pretty long live. You can definitely expect me to move on, though. I am not going to be, you know, Shadow Isles mirror match YouTube channel. Like, that's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna be moving on. I'm gonna be playing a lot of Piltover and Zon. Expect Heimerdinger to come back. I also really wanna dwell into Ezreal. There's a lot of very neat ideas I have around them, and Yasuo as well. And we're gonna keep it very interesting here. Like, we're always gonna try to fight the meta and beat the meta, not become the meta. That's just boring. That's lame, and that's just not what you guys want to see. So, but I did want to share the deck that got me, you know, the final push to Masters rank, in case you guys want a strong, proven deck to try out for yourselves. And that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a solid day. I'll see you tomorrow.